Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, who is the true lover and the true beloved. I'm very glad to participate in this spiritual and academic program. And I wish to express my gratitude to the organizers of this anniversary program for the great Maulana. Dear audience, as you know, Maulana was a great mystic and philosopher, a spiritual philosopher whom we can call a sage. Sage is a seeker of wisdom, is a wise man, and wisdom is beyond conceptual philosophy or discursive philosophy. Maulana was born in the province of Khorasan in Iran and lived in the ending years of his life in the city of Konya in Turkey today. So he was a great author, philosopher, jurist, exegeticist of the Holy Quran, and the man of science and knowledge. His family was deeply rooted family and well known at the age. His father was Sultan of Scholars, Sultan al-Ulama. As you know, Maulana was a teacher, used to teach in a seminary school in Konya. But after a while, he met Shamsuddin Tabrizi, and he was changed deeply and profoundly, and he became a mystic, and he began telling many poems which are collected in his famous book Masnavi Ma'navi, about 26,000 poems, and Divan Shams, which is very musical. In these two books, Maulana introduced a kind of a spiritual, philosophical, religious, and mystical worldview. This worldview is based on the concept of love and intuition and the respect for humanity as a whole. The mysticism of Maulana is not a secular one, like drug usury in our age. His mysticism and mystical school is a religious, divine, and deeply spiritual school of thought. Maulana believed that humanity is a family, one single family, beyond all differences, diversities, and difference of language, of race, of religion, of birthplace. So he tried to build a spiritual tradition of the Abrahamic faiths, particularly focusing on Islam. Maulana developed some universal concepts about human life, values, moral values, and the meaning of life. His message is a universal message and an eternal one that cannot be forgot at any time. Maulana started his great book Masnavi with the story of the flute symbolizing the human soul, which has been cut from its origin and has been thrown to the world of nature, to this material world, and this human spirit, like a flute, is complaining and screaming and crying because he has been descended to this material world and has become estranged with his original world and real birthplace. Because of this separation between human soul and God the Almighty, who is the creator of all human beings, and because of the separation from the divine soul, cosmic soul, who is God the Almighty, the human soul feels restless and is eager to seek reunion with its origin. Maulana asserts that for reunification with its origin, the human soul needs to develop a strong relationship with God and human beings, to love the Creator, and needs first to learn how to love His creation, that is, human beings. Without loving mankind, one cannot achieve divine inspiration. In short, according to Rumi, to Maulana, love for God and His creation is crucial for human salvation. Maulana asserts many times in Masnavi and his other books and poems that all human beings are from the same origin. In this physical world, they appear diverse in many ways. He states that all the conflicts, all the differences among human beings, and polarization among them are because of focusing only on the physical aspect of human life and neglecting the spiritual side and dimension of humanity. He stresses that if human beings want to avoid conflict and create harmony in society, they need to accept the physical differences and must delve deeper into the soul in order to find the communality of humanity which bonds all of humankind, ties them as a family. Maulana has given interesting examples of how contextual differences such as language, culture, etc. pose challenges in understanding simple things that cause conflicts between people. For example, in one of his parables in the book of Masnavi, he narrates that once four travelers, a Persian, a Turk, an Arab, and a Greek, were on a journey when the pangs of hunger overcame them. Upon discovering they possessed a single coin between them, they argued about how to spend it. Each one wanted to buy grapes, but kept referring to the fruit in their own respective language, their special language, causing disagreement. A linguist was passing by and heard their argument. He understood their problem and asked the man to give him the coin so he could satisfy their desires. Taking the coin, the linguist went to a nearby fruit shop, bought 4 branches of grapes, and then gave each of the men a bunch. It was then that the 4 realized that they were arguing over the same thing. The names were different. The meaning, the true meaning was the same and similar. But they had been unable to express themselves due to linguistic differences. Maulana asserts that understanding each other requires openness and humility. He discourages scholastic vanity, which leads to stagnation. Rather, the great sage prefers the disciple to explore communalities among people. According to Maulana, negative thoughts that lead to hatred, violence, greed, etc. hinder the human potential to actualize. Therefore, negative thoughts considered the darkness of the human heart need to be removed in order to understand the inner meaning of human life. Today, in many Muslim societies, we are facing acute challenges in terms of polarization and violence. Sometimes such conflicts are the result of diverse religious interpretations. Sometimes it's based on prejudice, racial discrimination, ethnic tendencies. It is observed that at times diverse views are less accepted and tolerated, and therefore conflict and violence grip society. In this situation, there is a deep need to highlight the literature that promotes peace and harmony in society. In this regard, Maulana's powerful poetry and deep spiritual worldview can be relevant to respond to the challenges of violence and polarization. Maulana's thoughts are important for different reasons. First, they provide bonding threads for human relations based on love and brotherhood. Second, they encourage intra- and interfaith harmony and create grounds for interreligious dialogue, intercultural dialogues. Third, they provide a sense of dignity to humanity by considering all humans to be from the same origin, divinity. Furthermore, his thoughts also offer a base for the concept of human equality. All human beings are equal and they are brethren. There is no difference, no preference among them. To promote the thoughts of Maulana in our society requires conscious efforts at multiple levels. For instance, the media, being an influential social institution, needs to develop programs that promote the diverse literature by eminent scholars and thinkers who encourage harmony and peace. So, the poetry of Maulana and his thoughts as a whole contain powerful concepts related to the value of human life and humanity. His thoughts can be instrumental in creating peace and harmony in our society. It can promote morality among humanity as a whole and different societies. There is thus a deep need to promote such literature which advocates humanity as a whole and harmony and cohesion between people and societies. This is the end of my words, and thank you for paying attention to my talks, and I wish success for all of you. Thank you very much.